In this game I'm gonna highlight the Daring, the Tier 10 British destroyer, which is probably one of the strongest ships, the strongest destroyers in the game. You'll see here the matchmaking is pretty favorable for me. I mean, there's a carrier which is almost unavoidable these days. But there's only one radar, the booster. The Neptune might have it, but it's highly unlikely. And there are 3 destroyers. I spawn on the eastern side, and it's a standard battle. If we check my team setup, we see that on my side are 2 battleships and 1 cruiser, and I think at least that the setup is always mirrored on the other side. So I will face at the start 1 destroyer, 1 cruiser and 2 battleships. That is a interesting and helpful thing to know right in the beginning. Now, as it is a standard battle, I am basically free to roam and don't have to go for caps, which is in this map really difficult right in the beginning. But as said, here I'm rather free to do whatever I want. So my initial thinking is I'm gonna check how the enemy teams, how both teams develop. And then I will probably go up 9 line to use the island cover and to look for targets there and maybe catch whoever is up there coming down. So the first battleship on this side is spotted, now the second one. They are probably the ones who spawned on this side, and they don't seem to go on 9 line. This is very important for me to know. I'm making sure I'm staying unspotted from the Shokaku's plane. And the cruiser now appears, the Hindenburg, and he's also not going on the 9 line. But my RPF shows me somebody is close and coming down. And he's spotted, it's the Benson. The Benson is a very good destroyer, but it's 2 tiers lower, and he has, in a fight between the 2 of us, his only chance is for me to eat a torpedo. And I have hydro, so this is highly unlikely. I'm not opening up fire here yet, because he's so far away that he might actually have time to turn and smoke up and get away, and I want to kill him. Now I'm after charging him right towards him. He was decreasing the distance, and as he's now turning broadside, I'm switching to AP, and AP damage is really insane on broadside other destroyers. So I take him out, and as you've seen, the last salvo was almost 3000 damage. I don't immediately repair here because he might have torpedoed. My hydro is running, I started it right when he came, and as I don't see torpedoes yet, I use the repair. And by now I should have seen them, so he actually didn't shoot torpedoes. Now there's nothing left on this side. RPF shows me the closest one is Jean Bar, or one of the, maybe the Hindenburg, the Montana, somewhere around D7, where they were last spotted, as we can see on the minimap. I'm checking here, and here I'm amused by the Shimakaze, who is trying to cap our base right in the beginning, which is suicide. You should never try to do this. And here I'm in a very nice position because I have a chance of at least of shooting unspotted, at least as long as I have spotting. I could easily use AP here, but I want a fire. The AP on the British destroyers is very good. So if you have a broadside ship and hit the superstructure, you can do much more damage than with HE, at least until it's saturated. But as we see, the spotting, they are behind the island now. My battleships are all still south of the triangle-shaped island, so there is no spotting if I don't spot it. So I go out and start opening up in the open. The Daring is like the other British destroyers, highly agile and with a great acceleration, so you can actually afford doing some open water gunboating if you if you keep your attention to who is aiming at you. Then you have a good chance of dodging. I was getting under fire though, and so I smoked up. I'm trying to get a fire here on the Montana, but so far it didn't work. Now I've got one. He gets unspotted, so I switch to the Hindenburg. Hindenburg, once again, a ship I can do great damage on, and I want to get more fire on the Montana because he had to repair, I think. So I think any fire I will have on him will be a perma-fire. I get one on the Hindenburg, but I mean, he's a cruiser, so the fire won't burn for long. And we see the Yamato up there is already almost dead after just 5 minutes and insists on sailing broadside. I guess we know why he's down to 1400 HP. And now he's dead. Okay, I'm going here behind the island and think about shooting from here, but everything gets unspotted again because I'm the only one spotting unless they shoot and are spotted by the Wooster or somebody down there on that side. Now the Jean Bar is up there and he's actually pushing in. Now at this moment I think what am I going to do? My battleships are down there, especially the Friedrich der Große is pushing in. So he is likely to angle down towards the Friedrich, and here I'm checking his speed, and I thought about shooting where he currently is, the torpedoes, but I see he's actually accelerating. So I aim one a little higher and wait a moment more, and I see it seems like he's going even further. Okay. So I set the second salvo a little further out than the white line predicts because I expect him to accelerate more. And here is a big rookie mistake that many people would make is now smoking up and shooting the ship they have torpedoed. There's no better way to tell a target that you have, or a battleship that you have shot torpedoes at him than shooting him, because if he hasn't paid attention before, once your shells rain down on him, he will pay attention, so he'll know that you are shooting at him. I'm checking, is he still on course for my torpedoes? He is, and I'm not shooting him until he's hitting them. So I make sure I am keeping, he's not evading my shells. Now on the other hand, I open up because I want another fire on him, and apparently he didn't have damage con ready, so he has a flooding and a fire now, and now the issue is he might get killed by one of my team, so I accelerate out while I shoot the Montana. I probably could have kept shooting the Jean Bar, but I was trying to get him unspotted so my team doesn't kill him, which didn't even really make sense because the Friedrich der Große was still in spotting range. Anyways, I get the kill. And we are in 7.5 minutes out, and I'm already at 95,000 damage. You see the Jean Bar is actually complimenting me for killing him, which is really nice team play. So I complimented him for it, for good manners. We all know that there are some pesky ships, and facing a daring who is concentrating on you is really annoying. So complimenting that guy and not hurling insults, which is fairly common in this game, is something nice for a change. So I think why not compliment him. So I'm here now again gunboating in open water. My smoke is ready, and as we see, he has a hard time hitting me. But I see now the target indicator is 3 people are aiming at me, and that is getting a little much. So at this moment I'm contemplating about smoking up. Now it switches to 4 and I start my smoke generator. And as we see, that salvo went astray, but here the Montana has a very good salvo on me. But I have a heal and I'm in smoke, so I don't need to fear too much, especially as he keeps shooting AP at me. Now I'm just raining down fire. I'm thinking about how to shoot my torpedoes. He's still out of range. I only have 10-kilometer torpedoes. But I want to farm him in those short periods of smoke with the high reload. You have a good chance of setting fires. And there is a fire. It's already the 9th fire. And here I spread the torpedoes out. I want to make sure that that even if he dodges, I have a chance of hitting him. And then again, no, I'm not going to spook him by shooting him, so I'm already looking at the next target. It's the other Montana here. And as it will take them a moment to aim for me, I start shooting before I even my smoke is even ready, but I waited until it is at 5 seconds. So I'm smoking up again. As he was fairly broadsided, I shot AOP, and we see this Montana has really a good aim. But it was important not to spook him, because he is eating 2 torpedoes and sinking. That's the third kill already. And unfortunately, now they aren't spotted, but they shoot again, so I open up on the Republic because he might be charging me. And he gets unspotted and spotted again, so I shoot whatever I can. The smoke is very short duration on the British destroyer, so I already have to cease firing. Now I want to see where he's going. At this point he might still be charging towards me. I got a fire on him. And the Republic has quite accurate guns and a good secondary set, so I don't want to take unnecessary damage by shooting at him, especially as he might have good turret rotation, but at this point I knew that I'll be behind the island within 1 or 2 salvos, so I open up. And here I'm using the island cover to get undetected to shoot a little more on the Montana, but unfortunately he gets undetected and behind the island. So after a moment, nope, he does not get detected again when he's shooting, so I am now pushing out. Worcester is still, I'm always checking again where was the Worcester last, because you don't want, this is a ship you really don't want to face, especially on close range. But the Yamato makes sure he doesn't come over here, and the Worcester is far away, ignores me. And now I'm opening up on the Republic, my smoke is ready, so in case he focuses me or has a secondary build that does real damage to me, I can smoke up. And we see here now the Worcester is opening up on me, and that's why I smoked. And he has actually pretty effective fire in a smoke, which isn't that difficult in a Worcester on the other hand. I mean, I was spotted, he was seeing me, and he has 6 turrets to shoot, so he can effectively lay down a huge number of shells into a small area of smoke, and of course he'll hit me eventually. Now, unfortunately, no more spotting. But the smoke was about to run out anyways. I gain a little distance because I want to see where the Montana is. He wasn't spotted again, so he must be somewhere behind the island. And by going straight at it, I might have popped up in his view range, but he is still far enough away. I launched my torpedoes here, single file. I mean, I wouldn't need 8 torpedoes here, so I could have spread them out anyways, or at least a little more. But as soon as I launch torpedoes, like it always is, he accelerates and moves away, so I'm opening up on him here in the hope that this will make him maybe turn towards me, but he isn't stupid enough to do it. So he is in cover for me. I'm pushing up now because I don't want to go right in front of him, and I might go towards the Kitakaze later because I expect the Yamato to kill the Montana. And we see here the Montana gets a really good salvo into the Yamato citadel, but not enough. Now I expect them to ram, but the Montana goes for a drive-by actually. So here I'm sure, okay, they're actually not going to ram. And you see I'm switching to AP because I know he'll come out broadside. And his bow is not saturated, and I can easily pen those 32 millimeters when he's full broadside, and I take him out. Now we are at 4 kills, and I'm greedy, so I want the Kraken now, and the Kitakaze is gunboating in the open. It's really difficult to hit something on this distance with those floaty shells, but he has the same problem, and I have a huge health advantage, and it takes him quite a while to start really dodging. I was spreading out my shells in case to hit him if he dodges, but he doesn't for a while. So and here my Hydro actually saves me. I think it was no, it was probably aimed for the Yamato, but he could have hit me if I had turned in this way. And now it's just a matter of time. Do I get those 12 HP? And as he keeps shooting, it is just a matter of time. And here is my Kraken. Now I see the game is about to end. Shokaku is now taken out, only 2 left, and the Neptune is being radared in his smoke. He was reversing, so I shoot behind him. Now I quickly check with my torpedo indicator. Yes, he's accelerating. And I open up. Here I'm switching to AP now because he's broadside, and I might do more damage with AP, even on this distance, because especially as the Neptune is very lightly armored. But so far his acceleration outwitted me, and now he's angling in. And I'm not really doing much damage. So I'm switching back to HE, shooting at him. He goes full broadside, and the Stalingrad is really unlucky, or has really bad aim, probably just unlucky. And he survives, so I take him out. And this is about the battle is now basically over. There's only their Hindenburg left, and he's low in HP, so it's unlikely that he's gonna survive for long enough for me to close in to shoot more on him, and he won't survive long enough for me to cap, so those points aren't gone either. So at this point the game is basically over, and I've reached 192,000 damage. That's not the most impressive. 6 kills on the other hand is quite nice, and while you can easily have even better games than this with the ship, I think it really shows its strength. High agility. The top speed isn't too high. We see here, I think I have speed flag on, but it doesn't even reach 37 knots. But the turning circle is tight, the rudder shift is very fast, it decelerates and accelerates really fast, and the hydro is just amazing. If you put on the module for it to, you have, I think, more than 3, almost 4 minutes of hydro. It's only short range, so 3 kilometers, which means like to charge a smoke it isn't that helpful. But it makes it very hard to torpedo you, especially as you are in an agile ship. So in this regard, it will allow you to gunfight, to knife fight other destroyers. So it's perfect for killing other destroyers, while at the same time you can push out the damage against battleships. And that's it. A ship worth grinding for, the Daring.